He is.
Welcome to the big show, everybody. Hey, we gotta talk about some things about the DOJ, y'all. They straight clowning people. They
Oh
straight
yeah.
clowning. And so when we get back, you're gonna see just how much they're clowning. Um, because you may believe it, but some people may not. And if you didn't believe it, you will when we get started. We'll be right back.
Hello, hello, hello.
Buddy, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's good.
Happy
Um,
Monday.
Yep.
Man alive.
Mm.
You know, I thought the weekend would give us some pause and a little bit of break. Mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
UFOs are real. I mean,
nah.
aliens are real.
So maybe one of you guys have me an answer for this. Okay.
Mm.
So you guys may remember the name Devon Archer. If the name doesn't
Business
ring a
associate.
bell, if it doesn't ring a bell, maybe you can click back your brain cells about 5 years ago. Yeah, about 5 years ago. Um, his name first popped up, and then it went dormant again, and then 3 years ago it popped up again, and then it went dormant again. Well, guess what? His name is back again.
Yeah.
Devon Archer
Back in style.
was an associate, or probably still is. I don't know. Of Mr. Biden, and I don't just mean the kid, because if you deal with the kid, you're dealing with daddy. Okay. And he
big
was
guy.
coming forward as a whistleblower on the dealings that he, Hunter, and was it Burisma and a bunch of other entities had, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, come to find out, with the looming case of Hunter Biden on the horizon, the DOJ has gone after Mr. Archer. I'll let you read the article here real quick, guys, so you can get a slight breakdown. And this is the New York Post, okay? This is not really a fully right-leaning website. It's more right than left, but still not all right, okay?
Yes.
So what they're saying is that the DOJ had planned to, what do you say, arrest, arraign, bring into custody. So on the
They
eve
wanted
of
him
Devon
to
Archer's
come in.
bombshell testimony. What's that?
They wanted him to come in to serve his time now. Not that they wanted to arrest him. He's
Oh.
already been charged, and he was like, "You have been sentenced already. You need to come in and serve your time." That's what they wanted him to do. They wanted to force the judge to make him serve his time right now.
Mm. Isn't it ironic?
How is he going, but not Hunter?
Exactly.
right?
Well, yeah.
Well, because he hasn't. Hunter
kinda
technically
weird.
hasn't gone to trial because his deal
It's a
fell
tad bit
through.
weird.
Yeah.
So let's continue reading here. On the eve of Devon Archer's bombshell testimony to the Oversight House Committee, the Department of Justice tried to put him in jail. If you don't suspect that this is an attempt to intimidate Hunter Biden's former best friend before he reveals damaging secrets about the president, then I have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. I know I have the same bridge. I think I have the same bridge. It's a pretty big bridge. It's one of them big old bridges. His first son's dubious plea deal in Delaware collapsing last week, and amid allegations from the senior IRS whistleblowers of political favoritism by the prosecutors to Joe Biden, you have to wonder how much, or how far weaponized or all-powerful, uncountable justice system can go. Two more examples in the past week, and the sky is the limit, and they're not even bothering to hide it anymore. On Wednesday, federal prosecutors dropped campaign finance violation charges against cryptocurrency billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, that was another thing that no one ever talked about.
I know, right? He just got off.
Where did he
scot-free
go?
for some reason? he got charged and then he
disappeared.
got let go.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was
There was
millions of
no-
dollars that brother took. Like, I don't get that
Yeah.
one. But
Oh no, he didn't just take millions. Like he
Nothing.
took.
Yeah.
We're talking in the billions of dollars that this guy took and then like lost.
billions.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, but didn't he go to trial and they, like Marlon said,
No,
they just
they
they
dropped
let
all
him
the
go
charges.
though, right?
They just dropped all the charges. He's
Oh
not
my
getting
God.
charged for any of that.
No, never.
Even though if it was
All the
anybody else, because he
charges.
was funding
Nothing
a bunch
for
of
nothing.
Democrats over the years.
Of course.
It would
There it
look
is.
bad in the presidential election
it
coming next year for all of the finance violations to come out on Sam Bankman-Fried's court dates. It would be very terrible for him to go to court during an election year.
Can't have that.
Can't have
No,
that.
We sure can. But we could send the Don to trial. Close to an election year. Never.
Oh,
know,
yeah,
no. Yeah.
Rules
dumb.
for thee, not for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were in power, I make the rules. When you're not in power, I complain that you're making the rules.
But we.
It is.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry, go ahead.
how they operate.
Yeah.
It is impossible not to view the gratuitous intervention of Archer's case by Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney of the Southern District of New York, through the same prism of suspicion and distrust. Oversight Committee Chairman James Conner describes the letter as obstruction of justice. So here's my question to you three. How is what they're doing not witness tampering?
It is. It absolutely is. It's
Because they're in
How is it
charge.
not?
It is. The average American or the one that pays attention knows it is, but we know why it's not considered. It's not.
Okay.
Because
You
of
want
the
me-
two-tier, justice system that we always talk about.
So this is what they're looking at. So the jury in 2018 convicted Archer of 2 felonies for his role in conspiracy to defraud the Native American tribe, but in his 2022 sentence had been repeatedly postponed amid long-running series of appeals. On Saturday, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York wrote to the trial judge, Ronnie Abrams, to ask her to schedule a date for Archer to report to prison after the Second Circuit Court of Appeals finalized an orders days earlier upholding his 1-year sentence. So this is absolutely intimidation, right? And this is to get him to come to the table, make a deal, say something that they want him to say, whatever it might be. And if you want me to play the Democrat here, what they'll say is like, we're just trying to uphold justice, right? He's already been convicted. We're just trying to get him in jail where he belongs, right? You can't trust a felon, right?
No.
You cannot trust a felon. Same thing they're trying to do with Donald Trump. You can't trust a felon, right? He shouldn't be running for president if he's a felon, if he's in jail, right? It's the same sort of scenario. That's why they always do this. You discredit your opponent by making them something that people dislike, felons being one of them.
And yet we have the son of a sitting president trumped up on felonious charges, and they're what? Gonna let him?
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to know the rules.
All right, so we've been talking about this type of Hunter Biden's been in our topics for at least a month now, right?
Yeah.
We've called this. We keep saying that they're going to do anything to take the heat off the Bidens. Anything possible. So this guy's just another fall guy to take the shiny object off of Hunter Biden. So they think people will forget. Then they can just say, "Oh no, we got somebody that was involved in that. His associate went to jail for that charges. He confessed to everything, and he said it was all him," type of deal, which is going to write Hunter off. That's my
no. They were already trying to do that with. Did anybody actually have we covered this on the podcast with Hunter Biden's deal falling through yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
We touched on it, yeah.
You touched on it. It's like here's the complete just a rehash of that. Here's a fallout of what happened. Is that they tried to sneak in an in perpetuity exemption from all things related to the charge he was pleading guilty for.
Yeah.
Right? So anything that he did related to that money that he was doing for tax evasion or whatever, or the gun charge, was going to get thrown out. He was going to get immunity for all that. So all the Burisma stuff, all the money, all the violations of being a foreign agent, all of that was going to get swept under the rug if the judge signed the deal. But she didn't. And she called it out. And then they didn't know that he could still get charged. And they thought they were getting a free pass on all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Committee Chairman James Comer of Kentucky has said we're now entering the deposition phase of their look into Hunter and potentially Joe Biden's corrupt business dealings. So who could be deposed? Who are the players in this drama? We'll start with Devon Archer, who we expect to hear from today. Who is he? Devon Archer is Hunter's former best friend. We have text messages, which we talked about this morning and have been revealed, that show the extent of their relationship. I love you, man. I love you, man. Not so much love today as Devin Archer, it is expected, will reveal some of the dirty and corrupt business dealings. How does he know? Because he was a business partner in some of those deals in Romania, in Ukraine, and in China. Again, at 10 a.m. today, in a 4-hour hearing, you will hear from Devin Archer. Weirdly, over the weekend, the D.O.J. sent a letter to Archer saying, hey, time to report to prison. Why is that? Because in 2018, he was convicted of defrauding a Native American tribe. It's on appeal, and he will have to report to the Bureau of Prisons. It's just odd that the DOJ was working on a Saturday and said, why don't you go ahead and get to prison? On Sunday, they said, we don't mean before you're supposed to testify. All very odd. That's Devin Archer, but that's just the start of this drama. Tony Bobolinsky is another character you've probably become familiar with. He created Sinohawk Holdings with Hunter Biden to work with the Chinese energy company. He alleges that Joe Biden is the big guy. He saw the business dealings. He was there when they were talking about where the payments were going, and that 10% would go to the big guy. Bobolinsky says he met with Biden in 2017. But that gets the ball rolling. We should hear from, as well, Eric Schwerin. Schwerin is described as a close confidant and counsel to Joe Biden. He had access to accounts related to Hunter's firm. Now, Schwerin has had a falling out with Hunter Biden. And as such, he is well positioned to share some of the dirty details inside of those business dealings with the House GOP probe. And then there is somewhat of a placeholder. We know the names in some cases of individuals related to Hunter and potentially Joe Biden. For example, in China. How about with the CEFC, a Chinese energy company? We know we have the text messages of Hunter Biden threatening Raymond Zhao over the business dealings, saying things like, I expect the payment. If not, there will be a price to pay. I'm sitting here with my father tonight waiting for your call. But multi-million-dollar deals were done with Hunter since 2015, and that's all coming out because Hunter was high on crack and left the laptop in Delaware. And just like in China, a bit of a placeholder in Ukraine, where Burisma business partners have begun to reveal details in a 1023 form, an investigative form with the FBI. A confidential informant has revealed the communications about, if that CI, that confidential informant is to be believed, about $5 million, $10 million going to Hunter, to Joe, to the Biden family. Hunter, of course, sat on the Burisma board, where he was making something like $83,000 a month, despite not speaking Ukrainian or Russian or knowing anything about the oil and gas business. But he has, as well, been connected to those dirty dealings in Ukraine. The question we begin to learn maybe today with Devin Archer is whether or not Joe Biden is as well connected to that influence peddling.
Answer yes, he is.
Yeah, obviously. What's stupid is the fact that we're still arguing about this. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, think about it. If this had been anybody else,
I'm not arguing.
Anybody's like cousin or uncle or whatever that was doing some shady stuff behind closed doors, they'd already be in jail. Like, we already know this. Like, I don't understand how this is even a question that we should be even entertaining at this point. Is like I said with Sam Bankman-Fried, right? That dude should be in jail, but he's free man right now, right? So, like, all the Jan 6 people who did a little more than, on most cases, a little more than walk into a building are being held indefinitely without trial or charge.
That's right.
But no, not Sam Bankman-Fried and not Biden.
And why is that Friedman guy, or whatever his name is, and like you said, why is he still free? If he got charged in 2018, here we are 5 years later, and the guy's still walking free. So they just get that leisure. Oh yeah, just you'll show up to jail when we ask for you.
Yeah.
You know, remember that movie, The Sopranos? You know, was it Sopranos? He was like, take me to jail now.
You can take me to jail now.
Yeah, you can take me to jail now. You know, that's how it works. And this is what we talk about. The normal man would have been locked up the day in court, serving his time.
Yep.
And they're doing it right in front of our face. Like Marlon said earlier, it's right in front of our face. They're mocking us. They're laughing at us because they know you guys ain't going to do nothing but sit there and watch the show.
Yeah. I think the U.S. corruption problem has gotten so much worse that they don't even care about hiding it anymore. Like, back in the day, that would be a big scandal. This would be probably the biggest scandal back in the 80s and 90s, right? If this was happening. Not today. Not now. Like, it's just like another Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have a theory behind it. You think about who Democrats support. Sorry, Marlon's having some technical difficulties, but you think about who Democrats support, and they usually lean to like making criminals as martyrs, right? Just look at the last few events that's happened in our country.
Yeah, no, you're right.
George Floyd and all that. So they always make criminals martyr. So maybe this is some type of mind control or something to where they see the criminality within the Democratic Party, but they just turn a blind eye to them being criminals, just like they do with all the rest of these criminals. So the left is never going to call them out because they don't call out the bad.
Yeah,
they only point the finger to whatever good the person's done, or this person, he was a good person. Just like when you talk about Hunter Biden's substance abuse problem, right? They always go, oh, he has a problem, and we shouldn't talk about that because so they try to pull on the heartstrings of people that have those issues instead of looking at the big issue that this guy is a traitor and he did some very horrible things with other countries, moving money laundering, and lying and threatening people from other countries. So I don't know. Just look at the patterns of the Democrats.
But also at the same time, in that very same breath, they also are the same ones that will look at the average, ordinary, hardworking American citizen and belittle and demean them. I mean, you take for example, this is a small one, but try that in a small town. Like most of these small towns, Democrats will fly over them for, and say, oh my gosh, Iowa, oh my gosh, Kansas, oh my gosh, I would never, right? But I mean, these same people are the ones that are making martyrs of criminals while belittling average American law-abiding citizens. I mean, the list goes on, and they're doing this. It's coming out of the same side of their mouths.
I think we shouldn't just pick on the Democrats here. I think we should pick on the Republicans too, because we have two different parties in the United States. We have D and D light. Okay, that is it. We have two, and if you really want to call them, it's like the D's and the little D's. Okay, they're all dicks, and they're not in it for you. And as George Carlin said, is that they're all in the same club, and you ain't not invited. And it's the same club they beat you over the head with, right? So that's George Carlin, and he's right. It's like we've long since been in a system that isn't for us, right? And so like they only enforce the laws when it's beneficial to them, ever. Right. And that's both sides. They only enforce the laws when it's beneficial, because they could care less as if anybody gets away with anything.
When is the law ever beneficial? Now, okay, so let me put it like this. Now we know that they want to. We said that they only charge people that they dislike. But I don't think that's true. Here's why I say that. Name me the crime that Donald Trump has committed.
Lying. That's it.
What did he lie about?
Yeah. What?
I know. I'm just saying that's basically all of his crimes boil down to, right? If you really look at the crimes and what they're confusing him of is just lying. Literally, that's it.
And he didn't even do that. So let's say
I would say this. Well, I would say that what they would try and conflate is
incitement.
Call to action.
Okay, but it's not against any law. Okay, so they're not even enforcing actual laws on the books.
Yeah.
So when there is actual law breaking, I can't even say that they're just selectively enforcing the law. They're not enforcing any law, because here's the case. The only time, because even on the people on the right, let's say someone went before Congress and they were going for the right and they lied before Congress. Yeah. They don't get prosecuted either.
Nope.
Okay. Hillary went.
Lied.
The entire FBI went during the impeachment process. All of them lied. None of them paid any prices for it. You have people like George Bush who lied. No penalty there. That was a Republican. Okay. So the list goes, McCain, list goes on for both sides. So they never enforce the rules of what's actual law for them, left or right. However, if you or I go before any of them, and even if we don't speak what they consider true, we would get prosecuted for.
Yep.
So there isn't,
Perjury.
I don't think there's a 2-tier system. I think there is a 1-tier system, the elite system and the civilian system. And everything that the elites don't get charged for, we will. And everything that we get charged for, the elites don't. So that's I think that's the way it works.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the party law, right? It's the one party system that's running everything. It's because it's what
looks like
say the rule is.
Yeah.
It looks
and we keep saying it's all political theater, but we keep talking about DC, how DC is not even part of the United States. They have their own laws there, man. This is why when they can just do whatever they want in DC, they can kill people, they can do drugs in the White House, they can money laundering, they can extort people, and nothing's going to happen. Because I can guarantee the laws that are set within, DC aren't the same laws that are set here in Texas. I can guarantee that. That's why when we look at it, we're like, but I would go to jail. But, and there's that old saying, every state has different laws. DC is not even part of the United States of America. So imagine the laws they have. Money laundering, that's not a crime here. Extortion, no, that's not a crime either. No. So imagine, what if they did have it like that? What if those aren't even like laws, but they do all this for theater to get us all fired up and riled up, and we know they're not going to do nothing. Then they're doing something over here, like we always say. So
yeah, here's another thing that I want to point out in the obvious of Hunter Biden. How is it that he can get paid thousands upon thousands of dollars for his paintings? Right. And that's not money laundering. Why the hell is he all of a sudden a painter? Right.
I thought he was a private citizen, too.
Yeah, he's a private citizen.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can get paid thousands of dollars for these things. So if I worked for the Department of Energy, per se, and I started selling napkins with little hand doodles on them, right? For $1,000 a pop or even more, just, random thoughts and sayings on a napkin, and somebody pays for them. And I work for the Department of Energy or any of the other 3-letter agencies, or maybe even a congressman. Maybe I'm a congressman, right? And I start selling hand paintings on like canvas or whatever, and I get paid for that money. How is that not influence peddling or money laundering? Because like, what are you really paying for? Because like nobody believes that Hunter Biden is an amazing painter to that of the Picasso, right? I don't think they're paying for that.
No, they're not.
Have you not seen his art?
Even Joyce is like, have you even seen the painting? Like, has anybody?
Do we even have his art? Has anybody seen it?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay,
and it's a lot of paint splashes, and
it's like George Bush selling paintings. Like George Bush actually can paint.
Yeah, it's probably like a bunch of finger painting. He's like, look at that, look at me, and he goes.
Heaven alone knows that the art that's on there is even him that did it. That's what we don't know. Okay,
but that's the point. Is like he's just selling money, but that's the perfect money laundering scheme, right? You're paying for a painting. You're not paying for whatever else is behind the scenes. You're just paying for the painting.
I was high when I painted that.
Now, suppose the painting, suppose that money is going towards trafficking, and they're selling it through the White House. Now, listen carefully to this.
Okay? That's what NFTs were accused of doing,
right? So, if you have money that you're now the art sale was happening was it at the White House?
I don't know. You have to look that up.
I thought it was at. Now, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, because I almost could be sure that it was either going to, or it was in New York Art Gallery in New York.
Okay.
But here's my problem with this. If he is doing an art sales, and I guess one of them sold for $1.3 million, I don't know. And one of them was a Democrat donor. So if
spoiler alert,
just walk with me a little bit through this art museum. Hunter laptop has trafficking on it. Hunter has art that people are paying millions for. We don't know whether he painted it or not. Regardless, it's going to him. He is nowhere near, he has never been known, nor has he been in the ranks of the elite artists in the world, but you're getting paid $1.3 million for a piece of artwork. Now, just suppose you're not paying for the artwork, but for access to something else, just like what Wayfair did. Okay. Ooh. So now you are involved in it. Your father's pushing it. The White House stays silent on it. And we don't know whether or not you're kicking any money back to the big guy like you did before. Now, I have seen Picasso pieces. I have seen Rembrandt's pieces. I have seen Michelangelo's pieces. I have seen Degas. I have seen Monet. And I can guarantee you, within the last 20 years, there has not been a single artist today that would rank even at the shoe sole level of those artists. And their pieces are going sometimes, rare ones, maybe $1 billion. And you're telling me a no-name junkie is selling for $1.3 million after being witnessed that he does have trafficking on a laptop he owned? Come on, you got to start linking these things because it's linkable.
It is. I mean, it's not like you walk into somebody's house and they'll be like, "Yeah, hey, man, that's a nice painting. Oh, yeah, that's a Hunter Biden right there." You know, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that.
This is just last week that the committee actually revealed two of the buyers, and one of them happened to be a donor, a Democrat donor.
Yeah,
that got given a good commission. So,
you
know, you can do that. But they like Marlon was saying, and the gallery sold his paint art for $1.3 million, and another buyer bought $875,000 on 11 of the paintings that he sold at the gallery.
Ooh, I want to know who that buyer was.
Well, you won't ever find that out.
No, it was probably one of his buddies that he has dirt on. He was like, "You will buy these."
Yeah, the original ones were asking prices were as high as $50,000.
Please.
500.
500.
Sorry. 500. Sorry. Wow.
Same,
My brain.
Can we find any of this art? Is there any of this art? Was it drawn on a piece of paper with a Sharpie?
It was, a lot of it was drawn in a rug.
Crayon.
with Parmesan cheese.
Crayons.
Yep.
So this is, I'll show you. This is what he this is what they say is his art. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I don't think you're ready for it, but maybe you are.
Hey,
what's it?
It's probably straight out of a coloring book.
These are the art pieces going for millions.
What is that? Is he painting? What is? Oh no, he's.
So what he does, right?
Blowing,
you drop paint, and this is usually either a watercolor technique, and in some cases acrylic. Okay, so I'll break it down for you, since I think this is more of my wheelhouse because I've got my degree in art. So I'll tell you what this really is. It's a free form type of art to where you drop blotches on there, and you just allow for the paint to go randomly on. So it creates these random shapes, and it's never the same picture anytime. So there's no, it's very, 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 very abstract. Like, it even makes the kinds of stuff that Picasso did look like, yeah, well, this one is more like kindergarten, but it looks more realistic than what Hunter would ever have done. So what they would do, and my daughter does this too. So she'll drop paint on, and then she'll rotate the canvas so that the paint just goes random. And sometimes it turns out really beautiful. Not gonna lie, it turns out really beautiful, but it's not worth up $1.3 million. The reason someone would get paid $1.3 million because they have a repertoire of actual art, and they have established themselves by name. The same reason that Cadillac, you'd pay for the name of Cadillac, even though you could probably get a better car from someone with a less brand name. Okay, you're paying for the brand. And with this, there is no brand to pay for. There's nothing he offers other than crack. And so you're offering millions of dollars for him blowing around paint like a 5-year-old? Come on, people. Come on.
Well, it does provide these.
I mean, I think George Bush has got a lot on his mind. Drawing the 4 horsemen.
I mean, he looks pretty comfortable with that pipe in his mouth. But yeah, that's George Bush, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Biden. It's the last one. That's the 4 horsemen.
No, but, if you think about it seriously, when it comes to Hunter, you have, I mean, no matter how you spin it, if you're not paying for the brand of Hunter because he has nothing, then it's paying for the access to the information or whatever he's peddling that you're paying for. Then
I would at least understand paying $1.3 million for the former president of the United States painting, right? Especially this one, the 4 horsemen, or even the one where he was drawing some of the world leaders, or there was another one where it actually had what was it? There's the one of Abu Ghraib was one of his paintings too.
Yeah, I remember that one, but the hell with him too.
Okay, so exactly. I want to bring up one more thing here. and I know we're kind of, it's not really a tangent because it all has to do with what's going on. And I'm going to go real quick right back to the art thing, which is because I'm doing this because I want to prove to you guys that it has nothing to do with art. They're laundering money in a different way, and they're trying to make it look like it's just some random dude is getting paid because he's so good.
That's right.
This is a Rembrandt. Rembrandt worked in oils, and I'm not talking about cheap oils. We're talking about the finest types of oils that you can use for oil painting. If anyone has ever worked with oil paints, it is slightly forgiving up to a point. A painting of this magnitude and this type with the kind of detail, even though you may not consider this detail, there's a very large amount of detail in this. Light sourcing, shadowing, color layers, reds, whites, and everything goes on a base layer on the canvas. When you start to layer and layer and layer oil paints, there is a skill that you have to have. Otherwise, you start to have bleeding through each color and everything becomes mud. And it takes so much time because sometimes you have to put a base layer and wait weeks for the sucker to dry. Then you put your next layer. And by the time you put your next layer, you have to remember what light source you have to be working with. There is a skill that Rembrandt possessed that Hunter Biden does not. So to tell me that you're putting Hunter Biden's paintings on the same realm and level as a Rembrandt tells me you're retarded. And you would pay $1.3 million for macaroni pictures, which tells me that you're obviously not paying for the painting. You are paying for influence. And if you're not paying for influence, then you're paying for a body.
That's right.
And Hunter can supply you with a prostitute from across state lines because his father would keep him secure. This has nothing to do with the art. Every art piece, I guarantee you, is linked to some human somewhere that he trafficked across state lines to sell in a prostitution ring and gave some of that money to the pedo-in-chief, Joe Biden. I'm telling you now, that is exactly what's happened. And the only reason Joe Biden's making money right now is off his crackhead son and whores around the world that he trafficked through every state line. And maybe some children that he probably trafficked too. Now, if you out there want to continue supporting a pedophile, continue to support a pedophile because you're probably a pedophile too.
Facts.
Okay? But the fact of the matter is that there's lots of money going on here and transacting throughout hands and no record of where it's actually going. But you're concerned about somebody who's no longer president having classified documents that he declassified himself. It tells me that your whole level of morality is so far off that you have no more left.
That's right.
That you're going to back this man. So I don't think for a minute that Hunter Biden has any involvement with art when it comes to money. At all. This is why they're going after Devin Art. They can't afford to have that come out. I mean, you consider this. Joe Biden was vice president with that other homosexual Obama, right? So if you have the influential side of the presidency where Obama was doing deals with the Middle East, following the gay agenda, doing all this nonsense in the White House. Meanwhile, Joe was provided the headship over Ukraine, the same place he's given all that money to, by the way. And you don't find that odd, by the way. Anyway, so he goes and gives that kind of money. He goes over there to influence the exact same place. Mind you, Hunter knew Obama too. They hung out and they met. Private citizen met with the president and was getting deals in the back door to deal with Ukraine.
Yeah.
His father is over the same area that your son has business dealings in. Of course, no conflicts of interest there, right? That's completely fine. I don't recall them giving Trump that pass when he was trying to do something in Russia. And even though he removed himself from the company's name, he did the right thing.
That's right.
Meanwhile, you have the vice president working in cahoots with the Ukrainian government to get the people investigating his son off the case, also passing laws to help the Ukrainian perverted government to help his son. But there was nothing wrong with that. Now he's president and he's doing the exact same thing to another level. He sends where are we at now? Almost what 3 or 4 billion? No, we are at a couple of $100 billion now, right? In aid.
Yeah, they just approved another one. It's
okay,
like
so say we have $120 billion in aid to Ukraine.
Oh, we're also behind on payments to Taiwan too for what they ordered.
And you haven't seen not one victory speech, not one victory moment from anyone in Ukraine, nor have you seen any improvement in Ukraine. You haven't seen one Ukrainian citizen life improved.
That's right.
But we keep sending money, and Zelensky keeps showing up completely fine everywhere he goes. There don't seem to be one iota of damage wherever he goes.
Yeah.
But somehow Ukraine's just being bombarded every day by Russia. And you don't think for a minute that that's being influencing every decision that Ukraine's making when it comes to his son? Come on, people. You got to start executing some sort of brain power sometime.
There are a few things that need to be pointed out about Ukraine. And one of them being is that we had the opportunity to end this conflict early on. There was peace deals on the table, and Boris Johnson was sent by the global government to torpedo it, to make sure the war continued, because they want war. But the problem is their rationale for continuing this war is to drain Russian coffers, right? They were trying to drain resources from Russia. But all it's ended up doing is drain U.S. resources, money, weapons, ammunition. We are dangerously low on ammunition, especially 155 shells, right? We cannot keep up with production enough to send over, let alone keep our own stocked.
Hey,
so the only people that are losing at this are us.
Whatever's going to happen, let it happen. That's what I believe in.
It will anyway.
Yep, let it happen, because these people need to wake up. And sometimes things have to be very, very hard for someone to see the light. You know, this tap dancing around stuff and America this, America that. No, America needs to learn their lesson. That's what they need to do. This is why we have BRICS and we have Africa and we have all these other countries stepping away from America. And then you just had Jamaica.
The writing on the wall.
Yeah. They see Jamaica. Jamaica just had a problem with America, because countries are tired of America intervening in their corruption and their money laundering, and they know what's going on in America. They know exactly. They know human trafficking is a huge problem. They know Ukraine is a huge problem, and they know why we're at war with Ukraine. It has nothing to do with the people. They can care less about the people. They don't even care about their own people. So why would they care about the Ukrainian people? It's all leads back, like we said before, everything leads back to human trafficking and child trafficking. All of it. It's not the drugs. It's not the oil. It's none of that. Human trafficking and drug trafficking. That is money. That is gold. Organ harvesting. We talked about it before. Walnuts. We talked about all this stuff. It all leads back to that. All the rest of this stuff is just hey, look over here, you know. So pay attention. America needs to learn their lesson, and when these countries start turning their backs on us, we're going to learn the hard way. I'm just saying.
The dumb ones ain't going to learn, though. That's the problem. The rest of us will have to suffer with the stupid, and that's
which is tragic, don't you think? I mean,
not really. Not if you're secure. Not if you're secure.
Well, right, but for the most part, normal people aren't just sitting here connecting the dots. They just want to get their paycheck, pay their taxes, love their families, and whatnot.
I mean, yeah. But we all do. We all just want to stay in our little bubbles, take care of our family. And I get it, man. Everybody has responsibilities. We all have responsibilities. We can't focus on what the government's doing 24/7. What we're doing, we're lighting a spark. So you guys pay attention just a little more, you know, outside of your daily stuff. Because when it comes in, there's that old saying, it's going to come in like a thief in the night. It is. And people are going to be looking real crazy in the face and real surprised. But the people that have been paying attention aren't going to be surprised. We're not. We're going to be like,
I guess, in my opinion, it's one of those things where I don't like to see good people go down because of a few bad apples, like the idiots in our country.
We want apples, my friend.
We won't go down.
It's far beyond that. Like, look, you have to look at the big picture of what's happening right now. We are closer to World War III than we ever have been
in
the United States, ever. And they said Donald Trump was going to be the one to bring World War III, right? And he barely did anything for people to even justify that. We have to look at what is happening in the South China Sea right now. We're not only are we bolstering Japan, we're bolstering Korea, we're also sending permanent military U.S. Marines to station in Australia now, right? We are putting more fleets into the South China Sea. We are pushing global war as we speak continuously between multiple different powers. And for what? It's not benefiting the United States. It's not benefiting the U.S. citizen. It's only benefiting a handful of people.
The people at the top. Now they said that damn, I already forgot the dude's name. Hunter Biden's friend,
Devin
Archer. Yeah, Archer. They said his hearing was today, right?
It was today. He already
Is
went.
there
in.
Anything? It was at 10 o'clock. This
yeah, it was behind closed doors, obviously.
Oh,
nobody knows what he said.
They probably sat in there and ate Jimmy John's and drank some coffee. Be like, oh yeah, man, that was a good one. You know, all right, everybody, act serious. We're going back out. All right, you know your lines. Okay, get them straight.
You know how you're gonna know?
Exactly.
You know how you're gonna know? This is how you'll know what they said. Now listen to what they don't say in every mainstream media outlet. They'll repeat the exact same thing. They'll have about an 80% match to everything they say, and the instant you hear that, you know it's a lie.
Yep.
Just watch. Just watch. As soon as you see that, you're like, okay, we're done. Just watch.
Yeah.
It'll come to fruition. Just watch. This is not going to go away. At least not calmly. People keep saying that we have one more last thing and they do it and then we do this. Okay. No. I will say this again. This is an effort to create so much chaos that they hope somebody fractures so they can have a reason to not put on 2024.
That's right.
And if they don't have that, they will create and concoct one. Being the daughter of what's his name?
Soros.
No, the other one.
Oh, Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, she said it's about time that we have a permanent lockdown for climate
change, right?
Okay. So if you think that they only have one stick in the fire, think again. They have multiple sticks in the fire. Now the question here is this: if they come and tell you that's what you have to do, what are you going to do? Because I know what I'm going to do.
Don't do it.
They can tell me all day long, and they're going to watch me do the complete opposite. Just watch.
You know what climate change reminds me of now, especially with the new religion that the left has created, which is climate change. It's burn the witch.
Burn the witch.
Yeah. Right? It's like everything is your fault. Is climate change, right? It's like you're not recycling nuts. Burn the witch. Right? Your carbon footprint is too high. Burn the witch. Right? That's what we're doing.
It's the whole global boiling thing. So you know what you have to ask yourself:
burn the witch.
I've ever heard.
Am I good?
Yeah.
All right. So when Klaus Schwab's daughter starts talking, the first question you should always ask yourself is, who elected her?
No one.
Who elected Klaus Schwab? No one. Who elected the WEF? No one. Who elected the WHO?
Money did.
No one. So for American people to sit up here and listen to who elected Bill Gates? Listen to these people. That baffles me. If I didn't elect you, anything that comes out your mouth is null and void. The WHO doesn't tell me what to do. The WEF doesn't tell me what to do. Bill Gates definitely doesn't tell me what to do. I didn't elect Fauci. He doesn't tell me what to do. Matter of fact, any other state senator outside of the state I live in, I don't listen to.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen is that when the global temperatures finally come down, because like Barbara Yates was pointing out, is like Bill Gates wanting to put a cloud between the sun and the earth, and they would just create like an ice age and be like, oh, guess what? Now the earth is cooling because humans fucked it up. It's like, yeah, you did, because you put a cloud between the sun and the earth, and that's how it warms up. So now we have climate change, but it's the ice age, right? Now we got to warm it up. So we need more carbon in the atmosphere so we can warm it up. Right? Because it'll be a never-ending thing. Climate change is so ambiguous. We can make it about anything. It gets too cold, climate change. It gets too hot, climate change. It rains too much, climate change. Right? It's all your fault. Everything is your fault. Burn the witch. Okay.
Well, back in the 70s, they called it global cooling for because of a big snowstorm.
Yeah. Then there was the acid rain, the ozone layer.
Right, and then what was it? Then they called it global warming after that because somehow it got hot.
It was climate crisis. Then it was a climate crisis.
And now it's climate change.
Oh yeah, climate crisis, and then climate change, and now it's global boiling.
Global
boiling.
That's what the UN said. But you got to understand, this is all about control, people.
Yeah.
You know, NASA already has the patent on artificial sun. If people actually look that up, they actually created it. That's known.
Yep.
You know, so if they can blot out the sun, right? If they can make the sun not put out what it's supposed to put out by putting some artificial cloud up there, what does that do to farmland and people that have crops and people that grow their own food?
Yep.
The food can't grow. Then they control the rain. That's known. People will be like, that's a conspiracy theory. No, it's not. Look up HARP. That's a true thing. So if they're putting stuff in the rain, if they're controlling that and it's killing your crops, who comes in and saves you with their genetically modified stuff?
Meat.
Yeah. There was another joke that somebody made about proving if people can control climate change by enacting policies, then that means the government can control weather. Right.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
If your policies could actually do anything, then that means you can control the weather. Right. So like them now, they're listing a bunch of other appliances they're going to ban because of climate change. Right. It's like all these gas furnaces and your hot water heaters. Yeah, those are contributing to climate change. So we're going to have to get rid of those. All right.
Your cows are farting too much. We're going to have to sew up their buttholes.
We're going to have to kill a bunch of cows. That's what Ireland's doing. 200,000 cows. We're just going to kill them all.
By 2029, they said. I mean, this is insane, and I can't believe how people just sit back and take it. You know, they're talking about this winter or the summer surge or whatever with this virus thing is going to surge, and they don't have enough vaccines to get people. And people are like, oh my god, and people are already wearing masks. I'm like, haven't you guys learned the first time that they don't care about you, man? Yeah. Live your life.
They don't care about you.
I mean, if we're gonna believe the government, you know, it's like the aliens are gonna get us first anyway. So what's the matter? Who cares?
They're not aliens.
No, it's like nobody believes that. It's like,
I know
hey,
what they
look
are.
at all the aliens.
They're not aliens.
No. They said non-human biologics.
They can't call
That's
them
a weird way to put it.
That is discrimination. We should call them out on that.
Discrimination, calling
non-human
biologics.
Calling them non-human. That is discrimination.
We can't. We got to let the aliens in.
A non-human could be the dog they launched into space, and it just finally crashed back down. And there you go. It's an off-Earth vehicle with non-human biologics.
No, that's discrimination, Coy. That is discrimination on the highest. We should call them out. We should make an entire TikTok where we just say, you know what, y'all are treating these aliens. You can't be calling them aliens and non-human. You don't know.
Right.
You don't
know. Checkmate, bigots.
I thought we was an open border state.
Yeah, right.
I thought we was an open border country.
Anytime they want, they can come and go as they please. Okay,
just come on across. You know, hey, open your house up.
We
are
to all
them, you know?
part of the same universe.
I don't know what the hell they eat. They might eat animals and cats.
They're just looking for a way to be happy. Why don't you just let them be happy?
They are coming here for work. They are
hey,
refugees. Galactic proportions. Okay, they need help.
Galactic refugees is what they is.
We can't call them racist.
So we do need the Men in Black? Is that what you guys are saying?
Yeah, that's
like, what can we call them? We can't call them racists.
We'll call them dimensionalists.
Dimensionalists. That's going to be a new one. You hate the aliens because they're not from here. You dimensionalist.
Dimensionalist, you.
Like I said, it's like nobody would really be surprised at this point if, like, yeah, aliens are real. It's like, yeah, we get that, but can you lower the price of bread? Like that matters to me very little that there might be aliens or there are aliens at this point. Is the alien going to come down and give me a job? You know, is it going to pay for my mortgage? I doubt that. Is it going to incinerate my house so I can get the insurance money? Because that would be more important to me.
He might.
Damn those aliens. We want the names. If you know what I mean. We want the names.
We found aliens, but we can't find a small bag of crack in the White House.
We have no idea who did the crack in the White House, but we did find the green ones and the reptilians. Okay,
yeah. The green eyes. They're like, okay, we got to give two things up:
the great
Epstein Island client list or aliens. Man,
aliens.
Give them the damn aliens. Give them the aliens.
You can know who shot JFK or aliens.
They're like, give them the aliens. They've been talking about it anyway for years. Just tell them aliens finally exist. And everybody
the crazy part is nobody cares too.
Yeah, not
everybody.
Person
everybody that's been talking about aliens, when they said that, like, they finally admitted that aliens exist, we were like, okay, where's Epstein's client list? That's what we want to see. We don't care about the damn aliens.
Hey, I wonder who blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. I mean, we have aliens now, but we don't know who blew that up.
No, the aliens gonna get blamed for
everything. Right. So who's responsible for climate change? Well, it's obviously the aliens, right? They're coming in with their non
it wouldn't be an AR-15. What would aliens have? What would aliens have if they don't have AR-15?
Aliens have plasma and stuff.
They got AZ's 2020. Okay, that's what it is. Like just I don't know what it is, but it sounds fancy.
It's gonna be like 911, 911. Somebody just came down and beat up my husband. What do you look like, ma'am? He was
a non-human
tall.
biologic.
No. He got a huge head.
The left are going to be afraid of being, what did you say,
describe
Martin?
him?
Describe him,
Speciesist.
He got a huge head with squinty eyes. He's not Asian, ma'am.
How racist of
you!
you!
Just turned into a TikTok live, but hey, he's like, what does he look like? And people are afraid to say that it's an alien, like they do. Well, he looks brown skin.
So he's black? No,
green or gray.
Yeah.
The point is that this is going to get to the point where we are going to be left in clown world, and there's nothing we can do about it.
It already
laugh.
is, man.
Other than laugh, you just got to laugh at it and just let it roll. Because here's the thing: nothing's going to change.
No,
nothing's going to change. Oh well, I put it this way: the only way this can possibly remotely change on a humanistic level is the tree of liberty. That's it. No policy, no regime change. Tree of liberty is the only way this can cure, and you have to use it or don't use it. Pick one. There's no middle ground. You have to find the ones that do it and put them to the tree of liberty.
You ain't lying.
And don't look back. Just let it go, let it grow, let it seep into the ground as deep as you can, and then move forward.
Low hanging fruit.
Okay, so if you want to do that, I'm for you. I got your back. I'm going to promote you, but it's the only way you can get it done. Other than that, we're dead in the water. We are dead in the water. But as far as we go, we're going to keep covering it. And I mean, we got to talk about it because it's out there and people may not know. But the amount of stuff that's happening now is when we say it's insane, it's insane. I do want to cover the whole Michigan House passing the pronoun felony thing.
Yeah, I do too.
I saw that.
I think we need to definitely light Gretchen Whitmer up.
Somebody 2% brought this up, and I had to look it up because I was like, that can't be real. And the face kini is a real thing. Apparently, it's becoming really popular in China because of the heat wave.
I look like these people. Jeez.
I hate this world. Can I get off?
But yeah, so to that bill being passed, I have a lot of questions about that. So we'll bring them up Wednesday. I have a lot of questions.
I don't have any.
Like, does it go both ways? So if so if they call me a cis, is that a felony?
Nope.
Oh, it's one-sided. Oh, so they get special treatment still.
Very special, very.
Always. Why does 1% of the population get to dictate all of this stupid nonsense?
Squeaky wheel, boy, squeaky wheel.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
I understand being respectful of people, but to this point, this has gone beyond whatever that's supposed to be.
I don't respect.
This is entitlement.
Yeah,
I don't respect entitlement. I'll tell you now. I'm going to say this. This is for me. This is not the Savage Patriot saying this. This is Marlon Brown saying it. I will never respect trans people. You do not get any respect from me. I don't care about your mental issues. Keep it to yourself. Ain't nobody want to hear about your stupidity or your inability to figure out what the hell you are. I don't respect you. Okay? I put you in the same bracket as a pedophile in every way, shape, form, and fashion. And to the radical or even the slightly radical homosexual agenda people, I see you the same exact way. I have no respect for you, nor do I want to know you, be friends with you, have you on any platform, talk to you, see you, sniff you, be in the vicinity that you are. I have no regard for you. If you were to expire tomorrow, I would clap and have a whole big party because you expired. That's me. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want you around my kids. I don't want you around my anything. I don't want you around. That's me. Call me a bigot if you want. I don't give a damn. I don't like you. You're a confused human being, and you should not be around children. You shouldn't bear them. You shouldn't parent them. None of the above. You should be away from society. I will go with Joe Biden on this. I don't want you around my family. I don't want you around my people. I don't want you in society. I don't want you around. Get your mind straight. Figure your crap out, but you don't belong in regular people's worlds. You got mental problems, emotional problems, and you need to deal with them, and I don't need to kowtow to your stupidity, nor will I. I hope that's clear enough, so if you come to me for sympathy, you're not getting none here. Okay? Perfect. Hope that was clear to every one of you that have even the slightest inclination to that mindset. I don't like you. I don't want to like you. I will never like you, and I will never respect you.
Every time Marlon, when he goes off like that, I really think about Uncle Ruckus.
I'm bad. This is the white Jesus gonna be talking just like this.
I don't like you. I can't stand you. Stink. And I hate my black skin. I hate black keys on the piano. I hate black pepper. I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lips.
That is my viewpoint, and it will not change for anybody.
I get it. Everybody has the right to their view.
Okay.
Everybody has the right.
So if you guys come here expecting that I'll be the one to like you, that's the other three, not me. All right, good. We clear on that. Now, as for Wednesday, we're gonna tackle this whole felony for not addressing you as man when you are one. I don't care how many breasts you implanted or stuff you put inside your chest to make it larger, you're still a dude. I don't care if you chop off your wee-wee, you're still a dude. You're just a wee-wee-less dude.
Speaking of that, did you read that article about that transgender who went from male to female? I forget what it's called. You know, when they take out their there's a term for it. He's actually going to Canada to do an assisted suicide.
The maid
because he can't.
Medical assistant.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah. He can't, or she, whatever the heck. He can't live like that. He said it didn't go as planned. It didn't work out like he wants to. He's in a lot of pain, and he's going to Canada to get.
That's one of the things these activists don't like to talk about is the fact that there are a lot of these surgeries that get botched, just like circumcisions, man. You can get a botched circumcision just as easily. And it's not even intentional. It just happens sometimes, man.
I'm glad I didn't.
TMI.
Bro's got his own experience with things not going right when it comes down to his nuts.
Oh yeah, you remember that? Yeah.
Digging in there. No, I wouldn't want that either. But it's still the point. It's like shit happens in surgeries. You can't always plan for everything.
Yeah. But that's not a surgery that you need to have. That's the difference. Neither one of them is a surgery that you need to have. Everything has to do with cosmetic and dumb choices. That's what I say. So y'all can do what you want, chop away. Ain't nobody missing the stuff that you losing anyway. So have at it. But to try and charge me for calling you what you actually are, you can miss me with that nonsense. So we're gonna talk about Gretchen Whitmer on Wednesday and light her up because she a clown and a half herself. So
she looks like one. You see her face?
She looked like what? Yeah. There are some animals out there. Jackal. That's what she looked like.
She looks like a witch.
Jackal.
Man, she's a Jezebel for real. She's got a Jezebel spirit.
Something on her. Something's on her.
Yeah, something's wrong.
In either case, we will catch you guys on Wednesday. If you don't show up on Wednesday, it's because of me, and I understand why. Jay Lee.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. See you Wednesday, y'all.
We out.